is, man. Detroit versus everybody, man. Detroit, we rep the hardest, man. We gain the hardest. You know what it is, man. Detroit, CJ, holla at your boy when we get home.
All right, man. Let's talk about Keith Thurman popping up in the WBO rankings. Real quick, appreciate the love and support. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and subscribe button, the icon button, check the box news welterweight playlist out for more videos like this. Now, Keith Thurman apparently popped up in new WBO rankings. Obviously, there's not a WBO mandatory until Crawford until May 2023, I believe they said. All right, he is the super champion, so I guess he get an opportunity to unify and all that stuff. So apparently, Keith Thurman popped up at number 4 out of nowhere. So putting more validity into believing nigga and fight, and that's fine. People say, what about the fight? Keith Thurman said, if you see my Keith Thurman video yesterday about Warren Terence Crawford, he said they're getting to the point where they almost at a point with no return about getting Errol Spence done this fight this weekend. So that's one of the reasons that how they can balance the book. You know what I'm saying? Where we can overpay you for Keith Thurman and then pay you a good rate for Errol Spence, and you could make your money in 2 fights. You know what I'm saying? You can make your money in 2 fights. So yeah, I think that's how they're gonna do it. They're gonna give a whole bunch of money to fight Keith Thurman, and then they're gonna turn around and get him a nice rate, but he gonna make a nice amount of money. They just gonna front. That's kind of like the NFL, how they front load a contract, with a whole bunch of guaranteed money, and then the back contract is filled with non-guaranteed money where they can cut you whenever they feel like cutting you. So yeah, you know what I'm saying. So that's something to kind of look at as well too. So yeah, they might just structure a contract for him and Errol Spence where they pay him a shit ton of money to fight to fight Keith, and then give him a nice money to fight Earl. So yeah, they might front load that contract. So it's ways to manipulate money. Man. And you gotta understand, Crawford, he probably gotta let his lawyers look at the contract, and gotta make sure everything good too. And then because he ain't never dealt with these type of contracts. Now you dealt with Bob Arum contract, you pretty much dealt with everything, right? But who knows? Al Heyman is different. PBC is a television series, all right? That's exactly what it is. Here go Keith Thurman, pop it at number 4. Virgil Ortiz is 1. Ennis is 2. Conor Minnis 3. And Keith Thurman 4. McKisson is 5. So I said some killers up there, man. Some real killers up there. So Virgil is number 1, but I still think he possibly got to fight a title eliminator at the end of the day. So, I mean, like I said before, I told y'all, man. Sean Porter told y'all, he said, man, it ain't no such thing as mandatory. He wasn't being literal, but at the same time he was. He said they gonna make fights happen, and I'm paraphrasing, and they gonna make fights happen, right? And it's gonna look like a mandatory was ordered, but it wasn't a mandatory. It wasn't ordered. No. So at the end of the day, Keith Thurman popping up in his ranking, fine. Like I said, I'm not opposed to him fighting Keith Thurman, but I like to see this shit a lot earlier. Honestly, I like to see this done a lot earlier. And we know it probably ain't gonna be no it ain't gonna be no eliminator. Cause not versus Virgil or Duran, so he about to leapfrog Virgil. So like I said before, I mean, they already got established, and Crawford can, they could turn him into a mandatory because it's a voluntary, or he can just make it a voluntary. So we'll see, man. But I'm for it, bro. That's a good fight. Obviously, like I said before, I wish they would have. I wish this fight would have taken place earlier, But then Keith Thurman had to fight too, so people talking about Danny Garcia, man, that make no sense. No sense. So this is a good one right here, man. This fight should have happened like 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. Crawford was active for this fight, but I said, like I said, Keith is active now. And did the activity help him before with Manny Pacquiao? He still looked good. He looked better than he did versus Lopez, but the problem was he refused to throw straight punches. With Terence Crawford, the difference, the difference is, Crawford we assume got enough juice in the tank to knock him out. So you go in there with Terence Crawford and you hurt your ribs, or what I'm saying, or he strike like Manny Pacquiao did, you're gonna be in some trouble. Crawford can pick up his legs. Crawford can pick up his legs. So, Pacquiao couldn't, them legs went away. But I said it's the fight that was supposed to be the original Super Showdown in the division, because Keith had 3 belts. Terence Crawford wanted to get after Keith because he had 2 belts. And once again, boxing give you some shit that's still. Fight should have been happening. Keith done talked a lot about his shit. He ain't a real welterweight. He too little. You done heard every excuse in the book versus Keith Thurman. Now we might be closer to getting it. Now if you get, this fight got to happen at the beginning of July. Minimum for you to get an Earl Spence fight, because Earl Spence fight got to happen at least about the first 2 weeks in December, the first week of December, because of Christmas. So you looking at it, the 4th of July. Hold on, my bad. So the first Saturday in July is the 2nd. So right now, if they can come to an agreement, which Keith said he ain't really seen no contract or nothing, but Al should be contacting him soon about what they doing next. So right now, you about what? You about 9 weeks out to that point. You about 9 weeks out. Then you would be after that. It's 5 Saturdays in July. So after that, you have 1, 2, 3. You have a month, 8, 12, 16. So you have 16 weeks going into November. So 20. And you got 3 Saturdays. You got 5 Saturdays in December. So the way it might fall, if they get it popping in the beginning of the first 2 weeks in July, they got time. Because that fight can happen December 3rd, December the 10th, December the 17th. You got 3 weeks before. You got 3 Saturdays before Christmas. Oh yeah, 4 really, because then this Christmas fall on Sunday in December. So you got some time. You got some real time. So right now, the business need to get handled, and that fight can happen with enough time for them to relax and get a second fight in this year. Earl respectively could, if he really wanted to, squeeze another fight in this year. So he could. So, like I said before, it's a good fight. The biggest difference, I think, is Crawford's ring IQ in this fight. I think, like Manny Pacquiao, he gonna understand that Thurman load up and winds up on his shots. The movement gonna get Crawford problems, though. That's the one thing that will get Crawford problems. That's the one thing that movement is gonna be an issue early on. But Crawford know how to cut the ring off. But the way Keith loop his shots, that's what's gonna make the movement. But Keith telegraphed, and I think Crawford's gonna have to if they do fight, Crawford gonna have to pick his straight shots up. I think when 1-2, just like Pacquiao, he loaded up and Pacquiao stepped in front of that looping shot with a quick 1-2. I think that's what's going to be. Everybody talking about the body work. Yeah, I think that 1-2 gonna start the trouble. And round Keith Thurman got to put as many rounds in the bag between round 1 and round 6. He got to hurt Crawford and put him down. You know what I'm saying? And then, then on the back six, he can cruise. But, I said, if I'm Keith Thurman, if I'm Terence Crawford, man, the 1-2, I think I'm jabbing at his elbows. I'm jabbing at his wrist. I'm jabbing at his shoulder. I'm hitting him everywhere, to be honest. I'm hitting him everywhere but under the bottom of his shoes. But the way Keith looped that shot, man, the angles that he take, Crawford got to keep his chin tucked, hands at home. And when he loop it, when you time it, it's just you're going to strike the 1-2. I mean, you can really even say you can just, if you really want to, you can throw a hard power jab, open him up. Throw that shotgun jab, open his ass up. Throw that shotgun jab, open him up, then touch the body or something like that. So, something interesting, man, to be honest, man. Very, very interesting, man. This will be a good fight. But yeah, they do fight, man. I might try to slide through that. They're probably gonna be in Vegas. They both last fought at the Mandalay Bay too. So that'd be a good fight, man. Real good fight, man. So, Keith Thurman gotta live up to the words that he been talking about Crawford not being a real welterweight and he wasn't scared of the Sean Porter fight. He didn't have no fear factor. This is a good fight. We should have got it 3 or 4 years ago, but nonetheless, this is where boxing going at. Giving you a cold buffet of food, but I think this one still might be a little warm. But let me know what you girls think. Let me know what you girls guys think in the comment section. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal by hitting the link in the description. It's the first link in there. Find me everywhere. Literally click it. You can find me wherever you want to find me at. Other than that, man, best way to donate. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe button, it's the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live and drop a video. Check out the Welterweight and Boxing News playlist. Appreciate the love and support. Let me know what you think about Keith Thurman popping up at number 4 in the WBO rankings. Peace.